Hey everybody, welcome to Takeoff with John Clark. We are at the NFL Draft in Kansas City, and if you hear that behind me, Bijan Robinson is here getting ready to be drafted. Could the Eagles take a running back for the first time in the first round since 1986? And Keith Byers will talk with Bijan, Jalen Carter, and some NFL draft experts. Enjoy the conversation. All right, we are here with Bijan Robinson, and I know you hear the buzz in Philly. Eagles fans want the Birds to take you at 10 if you are there. How was your visit with the Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, it was great. It was great. Just everybody there from the coaching staff to the GM. I mean, shoot, I met the janitor. He was cool as heck. Just everybody there was just really, really cool, and I had a good time, man. And if that's where God wants me to be at, then that's where I'm gonna be at. So, we'll see on Thursday what happens and how it all goes, and then we'll go from there.
When Howie Roseman asked you, why should we take you at 10, what did you tell him?
Yeah, man, I was just like, I said I could be a game changer for the team, not just a running back, but a game changer, and just a guy that can do it all on the football field for the program, and even off the football field, making an impact in the community, and just for the whole city to see where my heart is, and to bring that positive vibe to the whole city, to the whole state, because that's just like what I'm about. So that's what I told him. We talked a little bit more, but it was a great conversation.
Have you seen the reports that other NFC teams are worried that the Eagles could possibly draft you and how the offense would be with you in it?
Yeah, I mean, the offense would be great, man. Obviously, that offense is really talented from every position. And if they add me to the team, then we'll just keep on rolling as they are, right now. So, we'll see where it goes and what happens, and then what happens. We'll go from there.
So you were asked yesterday, other than Patrick Mahomes, which quarterback you'd like to play with, and you said Jalen Hurts.
I did.
You standing by that?
I am. That's I think he's the other quarterback in the league that's making a presence for himself, and that does things the right way, on and off the field, and that's mainly why I said that.
So Jalen Hurts and you are represented by the same agent, right, Nicole Lynn?
Yes, we are.
How did you connect with her, and how did she become your agent? Obviously, was Jalen Hurts a part of that?
No, he wasn't.
No?
It was about a year ago when me and Nicole started talking, and she just matched my values just so perfectly. From her faith, and my faith is just so big, and then even her just as a person and how she cares about her players and wants to build relationships after football as well. And there's so many things that she just really critiques me on still and teaches me just about life. So I knew she was the one kind of from the beginning, and I mean it's been great having her since then.
Have you talked to Jalen Hurts, and what kind of advice has he given you about this whole process and then the actual night?
Yeah, I actually haven't talked to him yet.
Not at all?
Yeah, just because, I'll try to stay focused and everything. Obviously, I have contact with him, if we wanted to, but I'll talk to him, after this process is over and really get what his insight is and how he did things, and just learn from him.
When you look at the way Jalen Hurts is able to run the ball as a quarterback, the threat of the run, the RPO and all that, Can you imagine yourself with him in that offense, and what could you do?
Yeah, I mean, it'll definitely be awesome. He'll always take a linebacker with him. And then, if he just leaves me in that hole to do the gift that God given me and just be special, that'll be pretty awesome. But obviously, I can't choose where I'm going to go. So right now, it's just all a thought right now.
So you visited the Eagles and the Bucs. That was it, right?
That was it.
How come you decided just those two teams?
Those are the only two teams that wanted me to come. All the other teams, they kind of know who I was, knew who I am as a person, as a player. So, they were saying, we're good, and the Eagles were in the Bucs for these two teams that I want to go to.
You know the history of the Eagles. They love to draft linemen, and they haven't drafted a running back in the first round since 1986. So you already know that.
Yeah, yes, sir.
You think you're doing a good job of convincing them you're the guy?
I think I'm doing a good job, but obviously it's not my choice. And if he decides to, not do it or go a different direction, then I completely understand. But I'm just here just to enjoy the moment, and if I get picked up, by the Eagles, then it'll be a blessing.
The all-time leading rusher for the Eagles, LaShawn McCoy, said he thinks you're the best running back that maybe has come out in like 4 or 5 years. What'd you think when you heard that?
Yeah, I mean, that was awesome, man. I mean, LaShawn McCoy is definitely a guy that I love to watch and love to, play with on Madden and try to emulate my game after him. So just hearing him and, give me respect and, as much as respect that I give him and talk about him, it's pretty cool to have somebody like that, on your side for sure.
When you see the way running backs are drafted these days, a lot of teams say they can get them in later rounds, but are you more than a running back?
Yeah, I feel like you got to be really versatile on the field. So you got to have a guy that can, catch the ball at the backfield, line up anywhere on the field, as a receiver, as a slot, and be just as effective as you are at the running back position. And I think that when you got a guy like that, and that can just be a mismatch for all the defenses, whether it's a linebacker, corner, safety, then that's when the difference maker comes into play for your offense.
When you were with the Eagles, did they put up on the board or show video of the offense and then maybe ask you about specific parts of it and the role you could have in it?
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we talked about the offense. We talked about, some of the play schemes that they do, just how they operate as an offense, and then even just how it would fit in and how it would look, and it was great. It was great talking to the offensive coordinator, everybody there. When I was on the visit for sure, and how they would use me, it'll be pretty awesome.
You checking out your mentions or social media at all to see Philly and how it's like Bijan or bust? They got promotions on the radio.
Yeah, that's all I've been kind of hearing. I try to kind of stay off social media a little bit just because it can be such a distraction, and just I can put my head in it, and you can stay in there for a long time. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing like all the big outlets and social media reports just saying if it's not Bijan, then. But it's not, like I said, it's not my decision, man. So it's cool.
Are there any running backs that you've watched or growing up that you said I want to be like him, or that you think you're like that we can compare you to?
Yeah, so I love LaDainian Tomlinson, like Marshall Faulk. Just those are guys that can catch the ball at the backfield as well, and then still make so many situations from nothing to something. And obviously, like their break tackle ability and how they use their leverage on defenders to score those touchdowns, and everything that they do on the field is how I want to like model my game, and even just who they are as people. Me just talking to them on text message and calling them, and how they're trying to help me out as a young prospect. It's pretty cool to see what they're trying to do to help me and how I look up to them right now.
It's very rare for a team that went to the Super Bowl like the Eagles to have a top 10 pick. Right after that, did you watch the Super Bowl? And when you look back on that, can you say, wow, I would fit perfectly with this offense?
Yeah, no doubt. I did watch the Super Bowl, obviously. And, yeah, I mean, how they use, the run game and try to, implement the running backs in the passing game, on swing routes, on, mismatch opportunities, and, how I can fit in that scheme. It'll be pretty nice just to be a part of that. So, but we'll see, what happens tomorrow.
Final question for you. For all the hard work that you've gone through and your family history with football, how special is this? And you're almost right to the finish line. Can you imagine your emotions at draft night?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be just such a special moment, just sharing it with my family, and just knowing that God blessed me to be here, with so many great players, and to have the opportunity to showcase, the skills that I've been blessed with, with the new team that I'm going to be on. So I'm excited, man, and the nerves are creeping up a little bit just because you just don't know where we're going to go. But whoever team drafts me, I'm just ready to get going.
Best wishes to you.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thank you. Yep.
Hopefully we see you in Philly.
Hey, we'll see you tomorrow.
So we are here with Jalen Carter, and can you imagine in the NFL playing alongside Jordan Davis and all the memories you had at Georgia?
It'd be crazy. Jordan Davis is one of my role models. He's one of the guys who got me to Georgia. And, if I can get to the league and happen to get drafted by Philly and play with him, it'd be awesome.
What kind of influence did he have on you? What'd you learn from him?
I don't know. I feel like he just taught me how to be a man, take things serious. He just taught me a lot about football, too.
Yeah. How was your visit to Philly with the Eagles?
It was very good. I like the scenery. I like the coach, the D-line, GM. I love everybody. The head coach, very cool guy, too.
What did you take away from your visit? What was the number one thing, like you walked out of there and said, wow, something about Philadelphia or the Eagles?
It wasn't really like what I took out. It was really the coaches getting to know my personality and know the guy that I am. I feel like they took a lot out of the meeting more than I did. Just getting to know me and stuff like that.
So Drew Rosenhaus said you were only going to take top 10 picks, visits. Did the Eagles say if you're there at 10, still there at 10, that they would take you? Is that why he said that? Is there anything to that?
I believe so. It might have been something like that.
Yeah?
Yes, sir.
So if you're there at 10, the Eagles are taking you, you think?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
How
sir.
special would that be to play in Philly, the type of organization? It's very rare that you have a top 10 pick after going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy. That really surprised me right there, but, it'd be crazy. And then they got Nakobe Dean, too. He was one of the leaders in the 2021 group. And I look at that guy a lot. So just having him and Jordan Davis, that'd be crazy.
So Nakobe might get his shot this year to start.
Yeah.
And what do you think Philadelphia can expect from him?
They're gonna expect the best. He put in so much work. I was just proud of him with seeing what he did for Georgia and really motivated me to get where I am now.
You think the Eagles might have to trade up to get you?
I don't know. I think that's the Eagles' decision. Whatever decision they feel like is best, that's what they got to do.
Seems like they've got their Alabama guys on offense, and now they've got their Georgia guys on defense.
Yeah.
You think they're kind of saying, hey, we're going to go with the champs here. We're going to take players from the best program.
Yeah, hey, I don't know. That might be their plan, but, it'd be awesome if they got me, though. Somebody.
All right, we are here with Paris Johnson Jr., and you came to Philly. You visited the Eagles. How was your visit?
It was great. It was great. I enjoyed it.
How about your sessions with Jeff Stoutland? He is known as one of the best, if not the best, offensive line coaches in football. How was your conversation and session with him?
But Coach Stout is a legend. I think the technique that we were able to talk about, I think, which I can't share. I just wanted to. We want to make sure something that we kept in the room. But I think just how well he's able to develop guys. You know what I mean? Had Lane Johnson when he first started, Jason Kelsey. 1 year after he was already there, Mbalata is a guy who's just playing rugby, and I think he has all these guys that are legends in the game, you know what I mean? So if I had the opportunity to be in that room, it'd be really cool, and I know I would get coached really well, coached really hard, and get developed where I need to be at to be able to compete at a high level.
And when you look at the Philadelphia Eagles, they seem to always have a good offensive line. How special is that, knowing that with the coaching that they have, they are always one of the top offensive lines in the NFL? And you said the teachings also help lead towards that.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to be a part of that room. I think like you said, being a part of a team where the culture is surrounded by the offensive line, and and the team knowing that their success is the team's success, I think is really cool. You know what I mean? I think the team takes a lot of pride in the offensive line.
How about Jalen Hurts, the Eagles quarterback? Did you get a chance to meet with him when you visited?
I didn't. I didn't, but he's a guy that I've been watching since high school. You know what I mean? Well, not when he was high school, but when I was in high school. So I think, it'd be cool to be able to meet him, and I think the opportunity to play for him would be awesome. I saw the amazing work he did this past season.
How important is it? Philadelphia always exemplifies the lines. They always want to get better on the lines, and games are won on the line. I mean, did they stress to you just how important it is to have strong offensive and defensive lines?
Yeah, I think like each team I've talked to has stressed that, the offensive line, the defense line is important, but I think something with the Eagles, I think across all coaches, right, regardless of position, was like they all realize that's where it starts is up front. And I think going against the type of defensive lineman they have, going against a guy like Hassan Reddick, that's a guy that's going to be able to reps against a guy like him is going to be what's going to prepare for each Sunday, Thursday, whatever day we're going to play. You know what I mean? It's guys like that. It's kind of why I chose Ohio State. The good defensive linemen that they had prepared me for each game on Saturday. So I think that competition, I think it fuels that fire,
What did you most take away from your visit in Philly with the Eagles?
I think as far as on the field, I think the meeting with Coach Stout, I think was the biggest thing for me. I think learning him, I'm taking a lot of notes. I'm learning the scheme. I thought it was really impressive the way he teaches, the way he develops guy in his background. He started off as a linebacker coach. You know what I mean? So the way he teaches, like he could do defense first, understand the defense before he get on offense. I think is a cool perspective. You know what I mean? It's different than a lot of other coaches. I think off the field was kind of cool. I didn't realize all the stadiums were like 10 steps away from each other. Thought that was kind of crazy. You know what I mean? We're driving to Ohio, I'm like, they're all right next to each other. It was crazy, So
it kind of shows you how passionate Philly is as a sports
fans,
fan.
Yeah. Those fans are serious, I can tell.
Did you grab a good meal? Did you get a chance to get some good grub in Philly? Did you get a cheesesteak or anything?
I didn't. We went to the Gatehouse, a really good spot. I got wings and a burger there, but you know what? Looking back, I should have went for a cheesesteak.
You never know. You might have a couple coming your way after the draft.
Right. That'd be cool.
Well, thanks and best wishes to you tomorrow.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks for your time. All right, we are here with Christian Gonzalez. And how was your visit to Philly?
It was good. I had fun. Yeah. Great city.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What did you take away from your visit with the Eagles?
Heard the fans are crazy, but you know, super into all the sports, not just the football team, but super you know, support a lot.
Yeah. What'd you take away from your meetings with the Eagles and the coaching staff and the atmosphere and the environment in the building?
Yeah, you could feel it as soon as you stepped in. It was real cool to, you know, be around that, especially a team that was just in the Super Bowl. So you feel the atmosphere.
So I'm sure you could envision fitting in with the Eagles.
For sure, yeah. It's whoever take me, but I'll have fun anywhere.
What do you think of how the Eagles seem to always be a step ahead sometimes if they have some corners like Darius Slay, James Bradbury? They're still looking for the future and youth and a good combination of that?
I would love that. You know, learn from 2 All-Pros. Can't really get any better than that.
Yeah. How about the Eagles' defense with the way they're able to get after the quarterback? They had the sack record last year. How much does that help you guys in the defensive backfield?
For sure. You know, pass rush is part of covering people. You know, you can't really cover people if you don't have a pass rush, and that helps the whole back end. You know, you can play more aggressive, knowing the ball is going to come out fast, or if it's certain pressures, you got to play more top down. So it's really real good to know you got a great front seven.
Yeah. The Eagles have drafted the 3 Alabama players over the last couple of years. Now they've got some Georgia guys on defense. Big program like you come from. Do you think that's really helpful and important for you coming from a program like that, because you're not going to put up with anything but success?
For sure, yeah. That was our motto. You know, competition was what we did at Oregon. So just being around great competition every day, day in and day out, is, you know, prepared me for the next level. But the competition gets even better, so I'm excited for that.
So you've watched A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I'm sure you've seen them in some NFL games with the Eagles. Could you imagine getting the work in every day with them, especially in training camp?
For sure. You know, it's like I said, you know, you gotta play against the best to be the best. So I'm excited for all these matchups with every team, yeah.
All right, we are with the NFL Network's draft analyst, Daniel Jeremiah. I really appreciate your time you took with us. And I got to tell you, I talked to Bijan Robinson, some of the other draft picks, and I'm telling you, I'm actually starting to believe it is possible that the Eagles, if he is there, could take him. Are you leaning that way, or you still would be shocked?
Well, it's twofold, right? I'm crossing all my fingers that they actually do it, because I want that to happen. To me, I think it's the best fit for them. But I just go back to history and their core beliefs, and they just haven't done it. So it's one of those things I'm hoping we can all collectively wish this into existence, but I'm still very doubtful that it ends up happening.
I keep going back to Jeff Lurie, though, wanting that high-powered offense to outscore teams. And he even said it at the owners' meetings. He says that's how you ultimately win a Super Bowl, outscoring the other team. Do you think Jeff Lurie could be giving that extra push, like, hey, imagine this guy in our offense?
Oh, I could see that, but I could also see Jeff Lurie walking down there and saying, we just lost the Super Bowl to Isaiah Pacheco, who was a 7th-round pick. Like, let's go get an offensive lineman and help protect our quarterback, who I just gave a whole heck of a lot of money to. So I could see that conversation going either way. To me, I think it has to be the perfect scenario and the perfect situation for a running back to make sense in the first round. And I just think because of this trade, the Eagles find themselves in that exact position. All
right, so if it's Bijan Robinson or Jalen Carter is possibly there, you don't believe he will be, I imagine.
I don't know. There's a lot of different opinions floating around there about where he goes and potentially how far he falls. But if you're asking me personally, if both those guys are on the board, and I was in that room, I would take Bijan Robinson every day of the week and twice on Sunday. Is it because he's also more than just a running back? He's a complete player. And again, we talked about this before, but this is a 2-team conference. It is the Philadelphia Eagles and it is the San Francisco 49ers. And the one thing they have that the Eagles don't is Christian McCaffrey. And now that you level the playing field and you give them fits of trying to figure out how the heck they're going to stop you with the ability of Bijan Robinson to carry it, to split him out. You can do endless things with him. It just adds a whole new dynamic to that offense.
So your final mock draft, who do you have the Eagles taking at 10?
Did we talk about this before?
Yeah, I didn't know if you came out with a new one. I mean, how many do they ask you to do?
There's a new one. There's a new one that comes out tonight. I can tell you, but you still got to watch the show, right?
We're going to watch the show. NFL Network, we're going to watch the show. We guarantee it.
Okay, so if you guaranteed me that.
Guaranteed.
All right.
I'll wear a Padres jersey on the air in Philadelphia.
If you can hit, you can get on the field for us right now. I went Nolan Smith at 10. I came back at 30, and just because of you, John, I was thinking about you, and I said they're not going to take a running back. They're not going to take a running back. They don't believe in taking a running back. So can you guess who I had them taking at 30?
No.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Wow.
So we go through the whole thing of they're not going to take a running back. They pass on Bijan Robinson, and then they take a running back with their second first-round pick. It makes no sense, and I love it.
You know what? See, you're making a movie, though. See,
Because it's draft day 2. Come on, let's go.
So you think in the end they'll get a running back somewhere?
Somewhere, yeah. No, I think, look, they could easily trade out of the first round, get some extra picks, take one there at the top of the second round. I'm not even sure that Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be there, but, man, he would make a lot of sense. He would be a fun piece to add to that group as well for a lot of the reasons we just talked about with Bijan.
And see, that's the thing where you always say, why wouldn't they take a running back at 10 or that high? Because you can get somebody really good in that area.
Yeah, you can find them, and there's other ones that are intriguing throughout the draft. I would say, Bijan's just a little different because of the combination of the size and the versatility that he has. But, man, it's an Alvin Kamara type piece with the Jahmyr Gibbs you throw in that mix.
So at 10, we're still betting on alignment.
That's what I came back to. Yeah, I can. My heart is wishing that it's Bijan Robinson. I think it would be so much fun. But Nolan Smith going to Georgia, getting another defensive player to throw into their mix and let all those Bulldogs grow up together.
Yeah. No, and listen, I mean, he loves getting the Alabama guys, the Georgia guys now from the big programs. Do you think that that's kind of like a thing now with the organization? We want to get from the top programs in the country?
Oh, I think so. Yeah, I think so. To me, I think you want guys that have played on big stages and big moments, and you've seen how they've been able to perform and react under that stress. And Philly plans on playing in a lot of big stages and a lot of big games here. So I think that gives you a little comfort when you turn in that card.
So this draft from 1 through, let's say, 8 or 9, where would you rate the unpredictability when you're standing right here compared to some other drafts?
The draft is tomorrow, and the uncertainty starts at pick number 2. And there's not a great sense or feel what the heck Houston's going to do. There's uncertainty all the way throughout the top 10. I've never had a year quite like this where you hear more and know less. That's kind of the theme of this draft.
So if the Eagles were to get Nolan, I mean, when you look at the offense they have already and the defense they have, adding another guy for the defensive line, this team is still right there.
Absolutely. I know they like to play with an alpha unit and a bravo unit. I don't know what's the third. What would you call the third unit? I don't know. I mean, I guess it's another wave of guys you throw out there.
I call them the Padres.
Oh, wow. That's hurtful. Hater. Can we just put Hater in the game? That's all I was asking. Jeez.
He's still a little upset, Philly, about the whole Padres situation.
Man, it's just brutal. We just left Suarez out there to just take one for the team. Has that ball landed yet, by the way?
No. Bryce Harper happened. I mean, but you know what? It could be Phillies Padres. Just like the Eagles being right back there.
I sure hope so. But Juan Soto needs to wake up and remember he's Juan Soto. That would help.
All right, let me ask you a question. If you had a choice one day, you're breaking down the draft or you're watching your San Diego Padres, what do you choose?
I can't go watch the Padres unless I do my job, so I have to break down the draft. But as soon as I'm finished, I'm getting to Petco Park.
Yeah. That's your real passion.
That's it, yeah.
That's awesome.
Appreciate you, buddy.
We'll see you in the playoffs again.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. We suck right now.
All right, we are here with former Tampa Bay Bucks general manager Mark Dominik for Sirius XM Radio here, NFL Radio, and the draft has become so huge. And in Philadelphia, it is an amazing debate right now. Would the Eagles actually take a running back, Bijan Robinson at 10 if he was there? Which way do you think they would go if they had a choice of a running back like him, who's also a receiver running back, but if there's a lineman there on either side of the ball?
So I think, Howie's so unpredictable, right? And I've done so many trades with Howie over the years. It's hard for me to imagine Howie just standing still, but with their collateral that they have, the 2-1s, the 2 and a 3, they've got some really good ammunition there to do some stuff. I take Robinson, and I take him because of that fifth-year option and then understanding the franchise tag. You're talking about taking a running back and have his rights, but the control over the contract for 6 years, which is a lifetime in the National Football League when you think about the change that we have. And to add a player with that impact, what he can do to an offense, especially like you're talking about catching the ball in the backfield, he's elite catching the ball in the backfield. Like he adjusts, you can watch games where he adjusts the ball like you think he's a wide receiver, not a running back. And so I think because he brings so many different attributes, I think I'd be tempted to say, how many points can he score next to Jalen Hurts and what you can do offensively with all the weapons you all have? It's too big of, it's not a luxury to take a running back. And you don't have to think about, I only want to take a guy that makes sure we do a second contract and plays 10 years. Eagles are in win it now mode. And if you want to have a chance to win it now, as good as they have pieces around it with Kenneth and all the other players, I just think that he kind of adds that final touch of that offense, saying you can do anything you want.
See, that's interesting, because what if they have like Jalen Carter there, or maybe they could trade up one spot to get him, or another edge rusher or something like that? You think they're in a great position, though, coming off a Super Bowl? It's not like most teams that pick in the top 10, they need to get a player to lead them into the future or be the leader of the team or something like that. But they basically have a Super Bowl caliber team already.
Yeah, they do. And I think that's unique. And I think Howie's done a great job of getting them in position every year with this extra first-round pick. And now it gives them that much more potential to do what they want. Now, I would say, to your point, if one of those defensive linemen drop, whether it's Anderson, whether it's Wilson, or certainly if Carter drops, which I think all three won't. But if they do, I got to think Howie's spider senses are going to go crazy, and he's going to want to make that little move up to 6 or 7 to go grab one of those guys, because I don't think any one of those three can drop all the way back to 10. I think that is different than the offensive lineman, where I think I'd take the defensive lineman over the running back there. But I think they're in a great spot picking at 10 right now, because it gives them so much flexibility what they want to do.
Flagrant.